I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but more apps, more videos, more vocabulary, or more grammar lessons will not help you speak Korean. I've been teaching Korean for almost a decade, and just in the last year, I have given written and audio feedback on tens of thousands of Korean sentences from my own students. And while doing that, I noticed something that changed how I think about this completely. More knowledge doesn't make you feel confident. It doesn't stop you from freezing. Confidence in speaking has nothing to do with how much Korean you know. It has only to do with how much Korean you have produced. By the end of this video, you will see exactly why and the one thing you can start doing this week. There is a point that almost every Korean student hits where they feel like they should be better by now. They have been at this for months or maybe years. They understand so much more than when they started. They can follow conversations, they recognize words everywhere, and yet, the moment they have to speak, something locks up. That feeling is not random, and it is not a sign that Korean is too hard for you. It is a sign that you have been building one skill and expecting it to give you a different one. Here's what I mean. When you study Korean, you are filling something up, like vocabulary going in, grammar going in, listening going in, all of it going in. But speaking is not filling up. Speaking is pouring out. And those are two completely different muscles. You can fill up for years, and the pouring out stays exactly the same. This is why you can understand a full Korean conversation and still not be able to respond when somebody looks at you. Your understanding is trained, but your output is not. Most students believe that confidence comes first and speaking comes after. Like you have to feel ready and then you open your mouth. I see this very often with almost everyone I work with. They say, I will start speaking when my grammar is better, when I know more words, when I can make a sentence without thinking, when I feel more confident. So they study and they wait, and study more and wait more. And the confidence they're waiting for never comes. Because that isn't how confidence in speaking actually works. Speaking Korean confidently isn't something you find and then use. It is something you build by speaking before you feel ready, over and over and over again. So, bad at first, less bad the next time. Speaking feels like a test. Studying feels like preparation. And you keep preparing because taking the test still feels too soon. But the test is also the practice. There is no version where the preparation eventually makes the test feel easy. You only get comfortable with the test by taking it a lot of times. And here's the one thing you have to start doing to become more confident. You have to make mistakes. More mistakes and quicker. I know that sounds a little weird, but it is the only way I've seen students speak Korean quicker. The students I have worked with who were struggling for months and are confident now are the ones who started making mistakes faster, not the ones who studied more and not the ones who waited until they felt confident, but the ones who opened their mouth, said the wrong things, heard the correction, and went again next time they were faced with the same situation. Think about how you speak your first language. You don't check before you speak. You don't run the sentence through your head first. You just say it, right? Because you have said the sentence thousands of times, including all the wrong versions. And every wrong version taught your mouth something. Getting it wrong isn't a failure. The correction that follows the mistake is actually the best Korean teacher you could ever have. Every confident Korean speaker you know got there by making mistakes and making them often. I want to be honest about why this is hard because it is not about laziness. Speaking before you feel ready feels exposing. You open your mouth, something comes out wrong, and there is this voice that says, see, I was not ready. I need to study more first. But that voice is not telling the truth. When something you say comes out wrong and you feel uncomfortable, that isn't a sign to stop. It's the feeling of your brain actually updating. The correction lands differently when you have just said the wrong version out loud. It sticks, it stays with you in a way that just reading it in a textbook does not. The students who improve the fastest are not the ones who waited until they felt ready. They are the ones who got comfortable with the discomfort and kept going anyway. Here's what I want you to do instead, and I call it the loop. 4 parts. First, start with the simple prompt you can think of. Pick a real question that somebody would ask you in Korean. Something like, 오늘 어떻게 지냈어요? Or 주말에 뭐 할 거예요? Something real. Not like, what color is your frog? Second, record yourself. Whatever comes first. Do not plan it in your head before you speak. Just answer. Third, get feedback from a real Korean speaker. Somebody who can show you how a Korean person would actually say that. Not just right or wrong, but natural or not natural. Fourth, do the same prompt again the next day, same question, but this time with the correction already in your mouth. That is the loop. And the only way to get more confident is to go through it more. More loops. More mistakes made, more corrections observed, more confidence built. One of my students, she had been studying Korean for almost 2 years when she came to me. She understood a lot, and she also had a lot of knowledge that had nowhere to go. Every time someone spoke to her in Korean, she froze. She didn't need more input, she needed to start letting it out. We started her on daily speaking prompts. So I gave her one question, she recorded herself, and I gave her one correction, she did it again the next day. First week, everything felt wrong. Second week, things were still messy, but faster. Third week, she told me that something had shifted. She said, I stopped waiting to feel ready. I just started answering. That's the shift. And it only comes one way. If you also want a full speaking system that you can go through for free over your next few months and fully know what to actually do day by day, that's exactly what I do inside my free Korean speaking community. You can also post your speaking in a voice message, and I tell you the one thing to work on. The link is in the description, and it is literally free. I'll see you inside.